Do you ever just get really, really lazy? Yeah, that's what I got going on. Welcome back to the worm. I can't seem to get out of my pajamas. It has been cold as something really funny and poignant, but it just warmed up. It's like 30, I think it's 32 degrees. There's actually some water dripping off the roof. So I got to get out and do a couple things. A few days ago, I was finally caught up on all my chores around here from the last month or two. And yes, chores does include tattooing. So I went out, I thought I'd maybe spend the week ripping boards for the kitchen, for the floor. And it was completely impossible. You know, I milled those up like a couple months ago or something. You remember, they're like 12 feet long, 1.5 inches thick, 2.5 or 3 foot stacks. Put them on there fresh, tarped it. It got snowed on, got down to 0 degrees, and they are all just like absolutely frozen together. I think if they were thinner boards, like less weight, thinner this way, I could just get a massive spatula under there and break them loose, but there's nothing I can do. I was using a big old ice chipper and it was just breaking the wood. So I don't know if that means I can't work on the kitchen this entire winter or what. Well, actually, we'll give it a couple more days. It's supposed to be around low 30s for the next 4 days, so maybe in a few days we'll go through and see if we can bust them loose. In the time being, there's something I'm kind of dying to do. This will be about the 11th video I've made on this table here, but I just keep coming up with really great add-ons. What I think are great add-ons, most people would think are completely ridiculous. This thing has been up here, I don't know, you guys probably know how long. I think it's just about dry through, which makes me want to varnish it. Of course, can't varnish it in the winter because I'm not going to have all that nasty stank in here while I'm living in here, but I want to be ready to varnish it right when it's warm enough outside. As I mentioned a couple times before, I think I'm going to put LEDs in these knots and then fill the knots with epoxy, maybe coat the entire table in epoxy, a couple layers. I think that would look really cool. And of course we got the popcorn and candy bin that clips on the side here once you bring it down. And I don't know if you can tell, do you recognize these cans right here? Do you know what those are? Well, let me just roll it down real quick. Hey, there's my hat. So whenever I finally finish the table, I'd like to do this box at the same time and anything else that's built on here. I want to do it all at once so the finish matches. I got 3 more weirdnesses I want to add on here. I think that's it. 1, okay, you know the rules, right? I'm not allowed to eat all this beautiful candy or eat popcorn without the thing pulled down actually watching a movie. That's to keep me from plowing through all this junk food in like 2 or 3 days. When I eat popcorn, I like it real greasy, so of course you got to have some kind of paper towel dispenser. Thinking we build something that clips on here. I do like the idea of all of this stuff coming off, so when it's rolled up you just see a nice finished giant 4-inch thick piece of wood. It'd look really pretty, and then when you put it down you pull all this stuff off and clip it on. So I'm thinking put a couple screws, bolts, something on there. We could 3D print something so it would just clip on. Ever since I made that first box, I like it so much, this clip-on thing, that I've been looking at all the surfaces on here. You obviously can't put anything on this side because you got to sit there. I'm trying to think of some kind of snack food that we could make some weird box for. Pringles, perfect. And you know why? So I don't know where this bit came from, but I tried it out in a stump. I think I did it on a video. And I really wanted to use it some more. It goes up to 3 inches. It's adjustable. I didn't actually, surprise, I didn't really think it out. I don't know if 3 inches is enough. How big is a anybody know offhand how big a Pringles can is? 3 1/8. Well, the scale ends at 3 inches there. I wonder if we can push it a little bit. I think we can make it work somehow. I just thought it'd be cool to have a big chunk of wood, I don't know, like a slice out of a log or something, and then drill 1, 2, 5 holes in the top and have a custom assorted Pringles holder, because every little cabin with a movie theater needs one of those. Problem is, I don't know that you want this past the center line. I think it's gonna wobble. Well, we're gonna try it. We only need 3 1/8. I think we can make it work. While we're at it and building stuff, it's been on my list to build myself an actual trash can for quite some time now. This is my paper recycling side, which goes in a bag in my trash can, a paper bag, and then it gets burned whenever I make fires. Since all my food's in coolers in the spring, summer, and fall, I get a lot of these ice bags. I save those, and those are my trash bags year round. Use some really nice lumber and make a gourmet two-sided trash can. By the way, in case you've ever wondered how this stuff turns out when you build with lumber right out of the tree, it shrinks. You see the crack back here? I just need to tighten the bolts in the back of that thing a little bit. No biggie. You get some spots like this. You see the crack right there? And before I finish this, it's all put together with screws. Pull the screws out, I'll recut this and then put it right back together. It'll fit perfectly. You know, if you get a little end that's sticking out like this, I just take a grinder to it. Probably the same thing down on this end. Yeah, see there's a little bit there. So however we make this Pringle holder, I'm thinking we'll do a solid block and we drill a bunch of holes in it, and then you dry it out really fast over basically high heat like that. It's going to get all sorts of cracks and warps and stuff, which I think will be kind of cool. If it makes it so the cans don't fit in it anymore, then we'll do some grinding, we'll make it fit. If it splits, we'll fill it in with epoxy, who knows. But issues like that are no reason to not build stuff like this. If you ever try to do this, you're welcome to mill up 300 trees, set them in a pile, let them dry for a couple of years, and then build all this, but that ain't me. You can see as this thing's drying out, see all those cracks in it? That'll be cool to fill in. The biggest one's down on this end, but we'll fill all that and then we'll grind it or plane it back flat. It'll look really cool. I think I can only fit 4 cans, which would be fine. I'll have 1 in reserve. We've got 3 of them open. I was so freaking out to try these last night that I actually put this down and watched like 20 minutes of a movie. They got some weird flavors. I love the weird flavors. The best ones are the hot honey. All right, we really got to get started on this. Well, we could do a paper towel holder at the... Ooh. That's much drier than I'm used to. Oh. This is the rest of the back of the bunk from the man cave. Remember I took the bunk off the wall and just threw this under here, and then we used part of that log for something. Oh, here it is. Right here to make that handrail holder upper fit. I think there's one under the snow there too. It's a bummer, I don't think that's long enough. It's not quite wide enough either. I think we're going to have an inch on either side of this so it doesn't warp and just break out of there. Bummer. Yeah, we're just going to have to find a log and carve it with a chainsaw. One other issue I'm finding with trying to work on the kitchen in the middle, well, it's not quite the middle yet. It's going to get a lot colder. But, you know, my battery-powered tools just don't work when it's below. I mean, they'll work at 20 degrees. If it gets to 10 degrees or something, you know, if you take the battery out, use the tool, put the battery away, it's fine. But if you let them sit out, it's just, you know, I don't know, you could use a drill or something, but you're not going to run a circular saw all day that's frozen. Man, Tito hasn't been out here in a couple of months. Look at this bin of Christmas presents for him. Just sitting out here freezing. I hope there's not any fine cheeses or anything in there. They'd be ruined. Ruined! Yeah, if we're going to get this to work overextended, it's going to have to be razor sharp. It's pretty sharp now, but I don't think it'll quite do it. Got some brand new files too, and you know, you're watching a pretty old guy out here in the woods. Can't see anything without my goddamn glasses. Oh Oh, isn't that a great sound? See if I can do this without screwing it up. Oh, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Nice burr on the back side of it. It's also got this blade that's on the outside, spins around, and that's what cuts the hole, so we'll have to touch that up. Looks like you sharpen the outside of it. Oh yeah, mucho nicero. Why don't we see if this thing actually will cut that far out before we, you know, get the chainsaws out. So that'll be a good test. Nice piece of very wet, quite frozen pine. Since it won't fit sideways in my tiny little vise, let's try that. You can see the water just dripping off of it. Holy crappers. Yeah, that was really sharp. It's probably gonna rip my arm off of here. Let's see. Wow, that is great. Look at these shavings. Look at that, we're in business. Sweet. I don't know if we can go in through the end grain though. Sideways is all right. We have two small problems. One is that my picnic table barely comes up to my knees. Not a great place to work anymore, and it's frozen into the ground. Number two, it's supposed to rain in about 20 minutes, so let's not get all the tools out. How about we chainsaw up a log first, and if it rains we can just run inside, because we have an inside. I've been out here long enough. I know it's ridiculous to still say this, but I cannot remember that I have a place indoor to work on stuff, that's what the man cave is for. Like, I automatically go in the man cave, get all my tools, drag them out to the picnic table or some sawhorses or something. Unbelievable. We could go in there and turn the heat on if we want. I mean, I was just in there drilling a hole, and then I took all the same tools back outside. It is a lot nicer to work outside if you can, but this will work. Put all my tools right back where they came from. I think maybe what I need to do is build a nice work table right outside the door here, because I do have all this nice space, nice tool benches that are cleared off and everything, and all my tools in here, but you wouldn't want to try to bring like a 12-foot board in here and rip it. One, you'd just be sucking down the sawdust. I guess you could open the windows or something. But also, the place is not even 10. I mean, I think it's, do you remember 10 by 10 or 9 by 11 or something? But with all the shelves built into the walls and everything, you might have 9 by 9 area to work. But if I had a nice heavy work table right there, you could just run out in between rain or snow clouds, do the heavy cutting, and then bring stuff back in here to work on. I'm just thinking out loud. You don't have to agree. It's just something I might do if it's okay with you. All right, our quad Pringle holder log needs to be only 5 inches wide, so like 6 or 7. We'll rip the edges off or something, and then 17.5 long. We're gonna be able to find that, no problem. Got a bunch of cedar and spruce logs underneath that snowdrift there. Or we've got some short ones. Oh yeah, there's a nice short chunk of cedar right there. Maybe we could pull that out. That's pretty fat, but we'll make it work. Yeah, that's a good one. Now, the one nice thing about running a chainsaw in the winter is that it's a lot harder to hit the ground with your chain. I mean, I could just throw this on the ground, and if you go through, I mean, you're not going to hit anything for a while. I think I'm just going to freehand this, just rip maybe all 4 sides. So we'll almost end up like, I don't know, like a 4x4 or 6x6 or something, maybe with some rounded corners on it. And then if we need to, we'll rip it down a little more. I got the wrong chain on the big chainsaw here, but we're going to go for it anyway. Wow. Well, I thought I overcut it. I was looking for 4.5. We got 4 5/8. So if we trim it down, that should work. You know something I didn't think about? Oh, it's not a problem. I just realized this has to attach to the edge of the table, which is at an angle like that, right? Let's go look at the table real quick. So the way it is now, if we square the edge, it'd be like that. So let's undercut it a bunch, and then they'll end up somewhere like that. What do you think? That work? So right now we got 100. So that's only tipped back 10 degrees. So we just have to cut more than 10 degrees out of the bottom of it when we rip the side off. I'm probably going to screw it up, but we got multiple sides and we don't care how it works. I'll go like this if it needs to. Just check the weather again. The rain cloud looks like it's split in half. I tell you what, ringworm has some kind of weird weather force field. This happens an awful lot where there'll be weather 1 mile that way, 1 mile that way, and nothing right through here, which is great when it's supposed to be a rainy day. You have these fronts that are like hundreds of miles long and they just kind of curve around ringworm, but it sucks when it's snow. I want all the snow possible. If I had my way, by the end of winter, all these trees would be gone. It would be like the Great Plains here, the great snowy plains of Michigan. Let's see, we got a 20-inch bar, but we got dogs just long enough. We can do this in one cut. Crap, that was way too much. I don't know if we can still fit our cans in there. I guess we'll try it. Didn't cut all the way through that. All right. Woo! All right, we don't want to poke through the side. Got another ½ inch or something. See if our can sits in there. Chili cheese fries. Perfect. Maybe I don't need to go any deeper than that. It's going to be sitting about like this. It's not like they're going to fall out. Oh man, what about this knot over here? That's going to be a problem. It's a good thing I got this newer brushless drill 6 months ago or so. There's no way my old one would have done that. This thing just hogs it. Weird. Oh, that's a problem. I wonder if my bit slid in a little bit. Yep, it sure did. Because I had it pushed out so far, I can't tighten it that well. Darn. Yeah, this one's a little bit tighter, still fine. This one, I don't know what we'll do. Maybe take the router to it or something. Alright, just so I don't break anything like a tool or myself. Never done this before, but I'm going to see if I can drill that knot out. This is going to be down inside where the cans are going to be anyway, so you won't see it if there's an extra little hole in there, but that is going to break the bit. That's easier. Get rid of some of that hard stuff there. Woo! God, that's a lot of torque. Uh-oh, it moved in again. Oh, we were doing so well. How are we supposed to do this now? You guys know I love Ryobi tools. I just think they're awesome. They're a great price and everything. This is a $100 drill, and that was drilling aggressive 3-inch holes in a fresh log. And it used no battery. Still on full. I mean, you know, it's got to be more than 75%. That's just nuts. I love YouTube videos like the torque test channel. They just get like hammer drills and impact wrenches and stuff and put it on a dyno and see what they'll do with different batteries and all that stuff. And it's so cool to see which brands put out the most power and everything. But man, for me, these tools, I've built my entire life out here with these tools, and they just frickin' work all the time. There might be some reason to have a regular old drill that'll do more than that, but I don't know what it is. And it, you know, if it can't drill that, then you find a different tool that will. It's pretty amazing. Out here in the woods with no power. I tried with the router and just totally screwed it up. It's impossible to see down in there and just barely hit the edges. So I've got the flip side of tools like this are bits like this. I've got this whole set of hole saws from Harbor Freight. They're like 10 years old. And it's just for something like this. You couldn't actually take this and drill a hole in the wood. It won't cut. Partially because they seem to forget to sharpen these before they give them to you. But also it's just cheapo steel. I'm thinking it might be just barely sharp enough I can work it in there. Except this is 3-inch. Well, let's see what happens. The bottom of the cans are 3 inches, so it should be a press fit. Look at that. Look at that. We got it. Oh, that's nice. That works. Kind of froze up. Let's try it though. Yeah, that's all ice. You know what the last step always is, right? Gotta router any edges. Just makes it look like somebody knew what they were doing. It'd be nicer if it wasn't wet wood, but doesn't that look better than that? Much, much. Alright, paper towel holder. I think we're just going to clean up the sides and cut these in triangles. One good thing about having an unflat floor, why you should always make your floor with the chainsaw, is if you ever have anything you need to push against, you can find edges like that. Like that, I needed something to push against. Can't do it on the floor though. I don't know where that screw went. Alright, remember how we do this? We gotta find ourselves a paper towel twig. We got a lot. I actually, I don't know if you know this about me, but I have a warehouse right out here. I stock it. Just thousands and thousands of different sizes of paper towel holder sticks. Yeah, I've been in the organic paper towel holder stick business for years. It's where I made my millions. Yeah, I like to get them from out here in this specific area. It gets the right amount of sun and nutrients to make the best spinning paper towel holder stick. Oh yeah, there it is. I planted this 2.5 years ago, just knowing that it would be today it was needed. It's too bad I just nicked the part that I wanted. At the bottom of it'll work. Maybe we'll take this one too, just in case. In case we want a thinner one. Uh-oh. I think this is too aggressive. Oh, right through a knot. Well, nothing we can do now. I guess we'll just make another one. Yep. Bad spot for a knot. Well, I didn't like the size of these anyway, because they're going to be, instead of hanging from a shelf, they're going to be sticking out. I don't think they were quite long enough. Watch this. I'll just make some new ones. Got a little dark last night, so I stopped filming, but I finished my paper towel holder. Nice and routed and all. So that should work pretty well. We'll have to figure out how to hang that on the table. I guess all of it will have to be figured in that way. All right, now all we gotta do is make a trash can. It's gonna be tough. I can't find the lumber I want. It's gotta be 14 by 14 by 8. And the only thing I have 14 are these, and these are the last slabs off of all those huge pine logs. And unfortunately, it's all sapwood. You see the end of it? It's all dripping. And then, of course, that'll mean even the sides get all sappy like that once they warm up. So that's not going to work. Got one nice piece of cedar there that's 12 inches. Ideally, I'd like to find a 14 plus by 1 inch slab of cedar so I could do the whole thing. 4 or 5 sides out of one piece each side. I don't usually slab huge cedar like that into 1 inch slices, but I can't remember what's in our pile out here. I know we got a lot of big pine. God, the snow got gross in the last couple days. I was keeping avalanche shovel in my car in case I get stuck. I had to get a second one just for shoveling off tarps. Can't use a sharp shovel doing this. You poke holes in it. All this for a trash can? Better hold a lot of trash. Smell like petunias. There's a lot of good stuff in this pile, but Yeah, it's all glued in place. Especially those. There's two piles, another one on the other side. I tried picking up on this and cracked one of the boards in half. I got two of these cracked off. The rest won't move. And I think I can get these two. Yep. So maybe I'll just use these. We'll have to use some shorter pieces, put multiple ones together. When I pulled this tarp off, it smells like a sawmill in here. And check out the ice on this. Like all these little ice beads, crystals, are this stuff off of the tarp. And that is all water that's come out of the lumber. Oh, the smell is just amazing. I guess I could probably pick all this up, put it in a bottle, sell it for a couple $100. It doesn't taste like sap. I don't think the sap would come out of the boards, but it's almost citrusy and a little bit crunchy. You see that black stuff on there and on there? That's tattoo ink. I don't remember how, but I spilled a little bit of black tattoo ink in this gallon. I don't like to throw these things away. It's hard to recycle out here, so I just use them forever. Figured if you put tattoo ink in your arm or whatever, you can probably drink a little bit. These are actually really pretty boards, so if I don't use them for this, they're going to get turned into floorboards for the kitchen and get walked on, and they don't look like this for more than a couple days. Well, that looks too small. Oh, I know why. I get an idea, I want to do it right now. I do a really rough measurement, or you guys know, no measurement at all, more than likely. I just measured that cardboard box and added an inch here, an inch there, but of course, cardboard box has no wall thickness. So we lost 2 inches that way and 2 inches that way. I got an idea. Do like this. And then we'll put this one on the outside. That'll give us 1 more inch inside. That's something. And I don't have to cut one for the bottom. It's a perfect fit. See how I planned that out? You know what else would look cool? I'll eventually probably plane and sand these, but there's always blue chalk lines on everything I build. What we could do is make these the outside. I didn't cut all the way back to, 90-degree corners there, so I'll have to peel that little bit of bark off. I think some of the other pieces have bigger chunks in them that'll have to be peeled, and then you'd see that on the outside. That'd look kind of cool. And then no blue chalk. You always got to think about what you're making this stuff for. You know, it's a trash can. It's never going to be seen. It's going to be shoved onto the countertop. But then a box works fine as a trash can. So this is basically just for fun to build. It's not a necessary thing. So you just build it in whatever way seems most fun at the time, and then, stick it under there, go on to the next thing. None of this really matters. All right, I'm going to go find a 10 by 14. Be right back, unless I'll do it. That'll do. So I think I might screw this together on the bottom. There's nothing to screw these top edges to, so I was thinking I'd trim out all the way around here. Yeah, it's a nice trash can. It's not pretty till you route it. monster. Well, it'll be about half that weight once it cures. Are you ready? There's no way you could be ready. I mean, humans just aren't designed to take this kind of coolness. Old news right here. Yep. But then you say, Ryan, but what if we need Pringles? Got you covered. What flavor would you like? Would you like sour cream and onion, or do you prefer Philly cheesesteak? Maybe you got a hankering for chili cheese fries. No, you're probably a hot honey kind of person. I was trying to be as minimalist as possible with the connectors. I tried about 11 different things. Routing channels in the back of this. You know, you could slide it on, all sorts of stuff, but since it's solid, this is all I could come up with. I cut some metal brackets, and it really works quite well. It's quite easy to put it on and off. And then obviously, your next thought, I'm eating popcorn, all these chips, my fingers, they're gonna be all greasy. Don't you worry. We have got you covered. Let's see, how do we go on? Oh, like that. Isn't that great? Our twig worked great. Just put a washer in the end. Of course, the same old clip on the other end. Goes on and off nice and easily. And you've got, you know, plenty of room for one of those, what is it now? 64 rolls in one? Is that how they're doing paper towel? Yeah, let's see. I think I accomplished something, so I should get a couple Pringles. Back off, I deserve them. God, those are weird. Oh, and the trash can. You gotta have a place to put all your rubbish. Fits just, ooh, wow. I didn't leave too much space there. About a 1/4 inch to spare underneath my shelf there. That is one overbuilt trash can. It's kind of nice though. Pulled all my bags of ice bags out and counted, and there's 3 different size ice bags, so we've got the appropriate screw set up on here to do all 3 sizes. Quite fancy. I mean, I'm pretty fancy. I was gonna cut little pieces of twigs and use them like dowels in here, set them in there, and then you could stretch the bag around that. Just be kind of nicer than screw heads sticking up. But I'll probably do that when this thing dries. We'll actually plane the top of this down, sand it, and then set some dowel pegs in there and glue them in. I know it's just a trash can, but I'll point out this is what happened when I flipped these the other way around. So that's where the bark was on each board. I don't know if you can see it in the dark here, but it looks kind of nice, kind of ruggedy, very ruggy. I'm quite happy with how all that worked out. Of course, we're going to have to, you know, use it a little bit, i.e. watch a bunch of movies and get real fat, get hypertension and diabetes. It's been raining and misting, and basically the worm is in a cloud all day today. It's another day of 37 degrees. We just worked so hard to get this snow the last few weeks, and now it's going to be gone. The week-long forecast went from like 30 to 34, and now it's all like 34 to 37 or something for an entire week. The only nice part about it is it does sort of make it feel like spring, although I don't want spring, I want winter. Oh, one thing I was going to point out, I keep meaning to say, I'm sitting here on this floor and it's not even cold. I really questioned how well that, what is it, 1/4 inch, the bubble wrap, maybe 2 layers of bubble wrap, and then a layer of foil on each side. That's all that's in this floor, underneath this floor, to insulate the cabin. Of course, there's real insulation in the walls, and you guys know all that stuff, and the ceiling. I didn't really think this was going to work very well, but of course, when I made and put in all the floor joists, I just spaced them however I wanted to. It wasn't a normal like 16 or 20 or 24 on center layout, so I couldn't just put regular rolled insulation in there. Plus, then I'd have to mill more boards to put on the bottom to close it in. Anyway, this stuff actually works really great. When it was 4 degrees out last week, inside here I had the heater cranked up. It was like 66, I think. And I took the infrared thermostat, zapped the floor, and the floor was 50 degrees. Before I put that insulation in the floor, every single nail that went through the floorboards would have a big crown of ice on it. And the floor itself, I mean, I remember zapping the floor back before the insulation was here. Back underneath my bunk, the floor was like 10 degrees. So I can't tell you why. I don't think the R value is super high on that stuff, but I am very pleased with how it works. And I don't know, I don't really think I'm going to insulate this floor anymore. Excuse me. I got room here for maybe 2 more things. One has got to be the ice bucket for Cokes. And I might be able to trim this flat spot. Of course I can trim this flat spot a little bit bigger, and I could hang one more thing on here. I've been trying not to eat sugar, and I don't eat that much unless I get it out of here. I saw at the store the other day, I think it's called Apple Jacks, you know, the sugary cereal. Apple Jacks Pop-Tarts, I had to try them. But I was thinking, maybe we can get 2 or 3 different boxes of Pop-Tarts to hang right there. That's a good idea, right? Ooh. Or maybe beef jerky, like individually wrapped beef jerky sticks. I don't know. I don't know what else to eat at a movie theater. I haven't been to a movie theater in a long time. Whatever, this is a movie theater. I'm gonna eat whatever I want here. Beef jerky and Pop-Tarts. Man, I had a few more things I wanted to work on outside, but I don't want to be out there getting soaked. So I set up my tattoo stuff. I am loving tattooing. I got some better fake skins on the way. Those are just like sheets of rubber. Apparently they're a really horrible way to learn. I mean, most people are trying to learn how to tattoo skin. I'm just doing it for fun. But check it out. Check out my art. Been sticking with the dinosaur theme here, so just did 3 dinosaur skulls. Of course, we got the classic Archaeopteryx, and I don't know what kind of dinosaur that is actually. That would be like a Triceratops. I don't know. I think that looks more Triceratops. I don't know what this one is with one nose horn. And then just this morning, I had to add some green to this guy just to make him look extra bizarro. Oh yeah, and then one other one I worked on. I've honestly never really understood why certain kinds of art are made into tattoos so often, like especially skulls. I mean, dinosaur skulls sort of make sense to me, but normal skulls, some art is just meant to be tattooed. Hard lines on the outside, sort of bold colors. They just tattoo really nicely. So I'm going to finish some Pop-Tarts. I'm going to do some tattooing, see if the weather turns around. God, do you know what a weird place this has turned into? We got a roll of posters, quantum physics, and a periodic table of the elements, because every cabin needs that. We've got a classical guitar. We've got sheet music for Grieg, some nice classical music. A gumball machine. A whole bunch of tattoo stuff. Pop-Tarts. 22 ammo and mags. Batteries. Power tool batteries. And it only gets weirder from there. I'm not going to turn the camera around. You don't even want to see what's really going on here. I guess this is what you get if you start out in a tent. You got a tent and a sleeping bag and a chainsaw. You walk into the woods. Don't have any plans for what you're going to do. And you just start saying, hey, that'd be fun. Hey, that'd be fun. This is what you end up with. If you just saw a place like this, a property like this, what kind of person would you think would live here? Definitely not somebody neurotypical. Not a chance. Thanks for watching. Great projects, huh? Great fun. Catch you next week. We'll do some stuff or build some stuff or tattoo some stuff or, you know, shoot some stuff. Well, I don't know what we'll do. Just come back, all right? Thanks.